just wanted to talk about how people can be in, people can be and feel so entitled. And I'm talking about mainly like in the workplace or on a job. This kind of sparked my attention when, and it's like with everything, like I just feel people are just so ungrateful. And I'm a millennial. I think that, even though we are a little bit rebellious, I do feel that for the most part, we are level headed and we're respectful. A lot of us had our grandparents, and I mean the old school grannies in our life to show us how to be traditional, respectful, the traditional manners and common courtesy, just things like that. But that's neither here nor there. I was in this fashion show not too long ago, and it just kind of, when I'm doing things like that, whether I'm doing a fashion show or if I'm doing theater or an acting gig or what have you, I do a lot of observing because, don't get me wrong, I am stronger in areas. For example, I can walk a runway or a catwalk like nothing with my eyes closed. I'm a beast at that. I'm 5'6", 5'7", depending on who's measuring. So, of course, I'm not on the level of Naomi Campbell and Tyra Banks, which I feel like today I had nothing to do with it. But it's just a very competitive, arena, to get in, a competitive field to get in, because everybody thinks they're pretty, but it's more than just being pretty. Size matters, certain looks matter. I know I forgot his name, but I know he touched on it when it comes to black models. They kind of have a certain look that they, want you to have. Like, usually it's very, very strong African features. But that's not what I made this video for. But anyway, the last fashion show I was in, again, I observe, I take note, I try to take in and learn something, something while I'm there. I try to network with people that I think will be, good to help me. But while I was there, I noticed that, those are my incense burning me a little sage and patchouli. But I was there at the fashion show, and we're getting styled by the designer that they had backstage that we were representing. And I just noticed that a few people just had like attitude. They were just mad about what they were wearing for the show. And that was crazy to me because, again, I had professional training to teach me about the industry at a pretty young age. It was a dude named Isaac. He taught, which I knew, I pretty much knew how to walk just from studying the greats. But he, of course, helped me really get it down, get the posture, and just a lot of things. Like, what can I say? I don't know. Just the business and professionalism within the industry that he helped me be knowledgeable of. He was a walking coach. He helped people learn to walk for pageants. He worked with a lot of people in the industry and things like that. So I actually got the professional development to, model very young. And one of the things he said that I knew very young, as a model, you may not always like what you're wearing. You may not always like what you are styled to hit that runway in. But it ain't your job to go pick out your clothes. You are a live mannequin. And whatever you gonna style in, once you hit that runway, all eyes are on you. And so whether you like it or not somebody in that crowd is gonna like you. And you represent that stylist in the best way that you possibly can. You walk with confidence, even if you was to, put something on that. Even if you got a trash bag on, you walk in that trash bag like you are wearing Gucci from head to toe. So I knew that. I was always, that stayed in my mind, because again, that was planted into my head at a young age. So again, it was times that I was uncomfortable in things that I had on, and I had to just learn to improvise to make sure, like I could say, and this again, I was early 20s or something I had on that kind of exposed my cha-chas, and I had a shirt on, but they didn't want a bra on. They just wanted me to wear it because it was a sheer shirt, so you could see all of my knees. I was just, really exposed on the shirt, and mentally I was uncomfortable at the same time. I had really wanted to walk for that designer. So, it's kind of like, be careful what you wish for, because I really had wanted to walk for that particular designer. And my tatas was exposed. I had a shirt on, but again, it was sheer. Underneath, you could see all my knees. And so, of course, I still had to hit that runway, knees and all, walking like I didn't care, knowing that all eyes is on me. I learned to, and this is with performance overall, because I learned, I was a dancer very young too, a trained dancer. And like, when Beyonce say she's Beyonce, and then there's Sasha Fierce, the alter ego, you learn that, people try to make that demonic, but no. You have to go into a zone, a performance zone. And it's just a level of adrenaline and confidence that gets you fired up if you like to perform, for the art of it. You gonna do the damn thing. You gonna show out. Again, even if you got a trash bag over you, you are going to convince people with your confidence, with your aura, that you the shit. And so I just noticed that when I was in that last fashion show, people was really mad about, what they had on, and it was just showing in their energy. To where I'm just like, it don't matter what I got on. I actually represented somebody before, and mind you, I'm gonna post that picture in this video. I represented somebody, a friend of mine, ex-husband now, so I could talk about it. I knew what the fuck he made was trash. I had it was a contest that he was in. He had to be creative. He had to go to the thrift store and be creative. And I just knew that we were not going to win that contest, that designer contest, because like this man had made this outfit out of vinyls, a dress out of vinyls. And I was like, oh, he going to win. Because what I had on was a goddamn lampshade over my head, a damn tablecloth with some pictures glued on. And baby, when I hit that runway, you would have thought, again, I was Gucci from head to toe, Dolce & Gabbana, Balmain, whatever, high-end designer, because, again, I walk with confidence, and I knew I looked a damn fool. Again, I was on the morning news, as you'll see on the photo. I was on the morning news with this on public TV. But when I represented him in that show, he won. He won, and I know it had nothing to do with what the fuck I had on. It was all about how I presented it. And so I just get so mad because people are just so not grateful. And I'm just all about, you never know who's watching or who's listening. And it shows in your body language, it shows in your aura, your energy, that you don't like what you got on, you're not grateful for even walking for anybody, because you could have gotten not selected by any designer to walk and do shit. Your ass could have got cut. Because I've seen that happen before too, where people want to have stank attitudes about, oh, they want to walk for this designer over the other, and they get cut on the spot and they don't get to walk for nobody. So it's just, to me, it's just an entitlement for me, because it's just like, girl, you don't have to be here. You don't even have to be here. You don't have to walk for nobody. But these people are putting you in their, design and their style. Represent. You finna be in that just for a little bit of time. Ain't nobody forcing you to buy it. Nobody's forcing you to take it home. You finna be in it in a little bit of time, up out of it, on to the next, or done. Which either one. Another thing. Hygiene. You gotta learn to start packing your feminine products. Again, you are in other people's attire. And you might sweat a little bit more than the average person. I don't know if you're going through hot flashes. I don't know if you just be like that. But you should know. Bring something. So you need yourself a little duck bath. And duck bath means before you go put them people's things on, because you don't want them to get their stuff back and you funky. And these people remember who you were that had their stuff on. Because it be some olders, and I want to make sure that every time I take my stuff off, that they get a whiff of mine, because you need to know that I don't stink. It ain't me funky. But to me, that is just so, I wouldn't want to even return anybody's items back to them. So foul. But it be women, like I expect men to have body odors, but it don't ever be the men. A lot of times it be the women who be so strong and so foul, cutting up the whole room, to where you walk in the room and be like, damn, who is that? Like, who is this loud? And it's a room full of women that I walk into, and then that one will walk by you and you get that whiff and you just like, oh, baby. To where I'm like, I don't even want to stand by you, because I don't want nobody thinking it's me. Because I know that, number one, I'm always going to carry me some baby wipes. I'm going to carry me a little bar of soap, a little washcloth, and some deodorant. And any other feminine spray, whether it's your summer's eve, your body deodorant, whatever. But I will, before I put on any designer's attire, I am going to, and I also try to remain from putting on perfume, because again, you don't know who might wear it after you, and you don't want them to be, allergic. So I try my best to refrain from putting on perfume, but I try to put on something that's, for sensitive skin, something light, maybe a body spray. But baby, ladies, we gotta do better. We got to do better when it comes to hygiene. We have to model for young ladies about hygiene. And it's crazy that this conversation has to be had with grown-ass women. Grown-ass women. And like, this is a job. This is a job. You're in a fashion show, whether you're getting it for the exposure and the connections, or you're getting paid, it's still a job. In the industry, of people talk from the low level to the high level. They talk and they remember. So I'm just about always leaving a good impression. You want your name to carry weight, and the weight that it carries, you want it to be good weight. If it's gonna be heavy, it's gonna be heavy, full of gems. Like, I don't want nobody to ever say nothing bad about me. If they say something bad about me, it's because they hate me. I just always knew that I want my reputation to be, she gonna come in, she gonna do her job, she gonna leave, and whatever. She gonna show up, she gonna be not on time, but she gonna be early. All of that. I never, no matter how far I get in life, I never want to just get the big head. Do I want to be respected? Do I want to be treated as a professional? Hell yeah. But I'm never going to just get the big head to think that I'm too good that, or I'm too good that I ain't gotta follow the rules. Cause that's how you end up getting humbled. And that's my TikTok.